just check with her?
It's on.
Waiting till David's gonna call and just see if he has on.
Are you there, John?
I'm here. Meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the City of Hornell Industrial Development Agency. It's 2:01. John, can you do the secretary's report?
Yes, I'll accept the motion to accept the secretary's report.
Make the motion.
Second.
Questions?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, treasurer's report. Ed?
In your packets, you received the information and, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion to approve.
John? Get a second?
Second.
All in
Rick will second
favor?
it. All in favor?
Aye.
Just one thing on the chart. I asked John to get an upgraded version of QuickBooks and also more than one user so I can see it. There is things I have questions on just because we're over under budget and there's a few line items. Once I get a look at that, I'll tell you. And it could be timing, I'm not sure. And Margie hasn't been here most of the last 2 weeks. He's been on well-deserved vacation, not an issue, but so he's hooking up the new QuickBooks so we have more users and I can see what's going on next month. Anything that's off budget or not by a couple bucks, but there is some that's off by a lot. For one, that outside services is almost double. I will find out why and I'll let you know. We'll have a review on that every month.
Very good.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Call the roll.
Trombley,
Yes.
Lights,
Yes.
Buckley,
Yes.
Angelina,
Yep.
Carbone.
Yeah,
Carry. Committee reports, next, the audit committee.
He doesn't have to repeat.
The operating account, July, paid $74,919.55. Escrow account, July was $6,179.09. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Call the roll.
Trombley,
Yes.
Lights,
Yes.
Buckley,
Yes.
Angelina.
Yep.
Carbone.
yeah.
Next, the Personnel Committee. I have nothing to report for personnel. Governance. Rick?
No report.
Another thing, on committees too, I noticed it looks like they're reviewed every October. Well, next month I'll get you all a copy of because first of all, I think you ought to review what the function of each committee is, and what the description. See if you're happy with it. And with new board members, there may be some that don't understand what the committee's supposed to do. And also on your policies, they're reviewed like once a year. If there's anything in those policies that doesn't make sense or you'd like to change, that's fine. There's a couple things that I looked at that I'll discuss at later time that are a little vague, not real vague, but a little vague and could be tightened up. So I personally know what my limits are on different things, and I think it's good to know. And so I'll highlight the things I question, and you guys can do the same, because I think we approve them every October by the looks of it. And frankly, on the school board and the county IDA, we usually have changes every year. So there could be things you want to look at and possibly change.
Okay.
We also send them to the bond council for review to make sure that anything that past year that the state has done that might affect them, he would tell us how to change, how to come in compliance with.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, Mike, you're up next.
Okay, if you have questions on this, on the project itself, we can ask Griff or Sean. As far as this resolution, it's just the inducement resolution to authorize the public hearing. From what I've read and talking to Jet Made and different, I think it's a great project. We went through Alston. They took us on a tour of that. They're very high on this project. And after looking at the drawings with Sean today, the location of the thing is a huge enhancement to Hornell. The only thing I wish it was closer to the road, but the owners pushed it back a little. To see that as you come into Hornell is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this project is great for the city. We'll come back at the next meeting. I think time is of the essence on this one too. So I would say the September meeting, we'll have all the T's and C's worked out. The pilot is a little bit different than a standard pilot, but I can understand it. I fully support everything the guy's saying. He's making a huge investment in the area. And I think this is a great project for Hornell. And
They had to do a cost revision. What was how much more materials?
I think that was in your.
Almost $1 million.
I think did we send that application? I think it was with your packet. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think it was in the minutes, right?
Yeah, no, there's an application. I asked her to send it.
Oh, I didn't see the
Well, I'll make sure she
More
didn't
like
send
two
it.
million, because it was a $10 million project, and now it's listed as a $12 million project.
Yeah, and then hopefully that'll kind of come down a little bit. So,
Even OSB has come back down a little bit.
Yeah.
Now it's at $50, it's at like 21 right now, so it's come down a little bit.
it'll come in a little under what they anticipate.
You all got the cost benefit analysis.
I think that just underscores his commitment to, the project in our community. And I think it speaks to the growth that we're experiencing here in Hornell, that even with the pandemic and the associated costs that have come with it, he's still ready, willing, and able to do the project. So it's a matter of getting that first shovel in the ground.
As you ride down the highway though, that being the first thing, that's a
Sure.
big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
It's unreal.
You know, that project, I talk with people all the time around the state, and they consider a project under cost benefit analysis. If it's 2 or 3 to 1, it's a hell of a good project. This is like 29 to 1.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's
over the top.
Are they gonna be putting an entrance into the north?
No.
Well, I think
Not right
that's yet to be seen. As you know, the DOT is right now in the planning stages for, they had proposed under the federal grant was the Tiger Grant at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've changed the title or whatever.
I went to build after that. And then I think they have a new name going forward. So
they applied and they had a strong application, but it wasn't funded. They've applied for federal highway to the Federal Highway Administration, the federal DOT. or will be applying again. And I think to that end, they've invited members of the chamber and the IDA and the city to a planning session.
Mhm.
So that the improvements will run from Center City, right here at this intersection. They'll run all the way into Artport, that section of highway, and they planned pedestrian friendly improvements, like I think putting in sidewalks. I think you'll see, and I don't want to speak for the DOT, but in my conversations with them, over 4 years ago, they were talking about roundabouts just to get a better traffic flow, slow things down, and get them out safely on that stretch of highways, particularly because of the growth in trade. So.
Yeah, it's basically reimagining the entire corridor,
Right,
Center
right.
City all the way.
And
up to
also to take into effect pedestrian friendly, we have a sidewalk put into the place, so.
If anybody from the IDA wants to sit on that, we can put your name in.
Well, they actually,
It's gonna be a 3-year study.
they got
So
in
get
touch
ready.
with me.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to Sean. I think it starts in October.
Right.
Yes.
You come in, it's gonna be right over here.
It's coming up.
We don't have far to go.
The one thing that I heard from the town that they're quite upset about and will be objecting to it is the fact that they are talking about going from,
Well, Griff, before you get into it, Griff, I'm just gonna caution you. A lot of these discussions are,
Right.
For the
Yeah.
committee, and I don't know if it's really appropriate to get too far ahead of
no,
in a public setting.
what I'm saying, it's gonna need
I know there's
input from a
going to be-
lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a multi-stage process, getting public input, getting input from all the stakeholders at the table. And
And what
it's
started
very
this was,
preliminary right now.
what started this was a question, are we gonna have a left turn lane into the hotel?
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping.
So there's a lot of what ifs, and
Yeah.
the application I don't believe has been filed yet, and so there's a lot of steps to it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I guess what we need is a motion for the inducement resolution.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Call the roll.
Tremblay.
Yes.
Lights.
Yes.
Buckley.
Yes.
Andalina.
Yes.
Carbone.
yes,
Carried. Next, the executive consultants report.
Well, this project is taken, obviously, it's gonna become a lot easier here once it gets in the ground, hopefully in September. Once the building gets in the ground and gets enclosed, then the city will have to work with the developer on the CDBG grant application for assistance on the FF&E, furniture, fixture, and equipment. So that'll take place, but that'll be a number of months down the road. I was told by Jack that he's looking for a mid-September groundbreaking, so this certainly will help get this underway. So that's one off the plate. Now, update on Alstom, you can see they've made progress on their foundation, their ram aggregate piers, which were required there. They got those, and I think there was 180 of them that were placed. And they're already pouring the foundation, that's moving ahead. Griff and I had a conversation with Tim Buchanan yesterday. There are some issues that are deal with timing and utility relocation, not the big relocation, but that may be in the way now, and that's going to involve the city. So I have reached out to Mitch. We're going to have a meeting with LaChase and Alstom and Genzel to see how or if the city can help us in that direction to expedite it, because they're on such a fine,
Right.
narrow timeline. So I've had that brief conversation with Mitch this morning, and we're going to get together with all the parties involved and see if we can reach a solution. Other than that, everything's are going good. We have to submit for our EDA grant, we have to submit our grant administration plan, and our program administration plan, which involves a lot of dates and conjecture and when the final plans, when we're gonna go to bid and all that stuff. We had a preliminary schedule. We let Alstom just talk about it. And then we're gonna try to finalize that. We're gonna have it in hopefully the first week in September. That's the first deliverable we have to EDA.
Mhm.
So we'll check that off our list of things to do. We also have to provide them a list of contact people, who's the primary contact for the project, secondary contact, and things right down the line, in case, they want to know who they can contact if they can't get a hold of the primary contact. So that's being developed right now, and we'll get that to them. Other than that, things are going pretty good. We probably won't have the final bids and documents, and we'll probably let our end of the contract probably sometime in March. According to that situation, that's we can expedite it a bit. And then we gotta get the bids, review the bids, and then we'll get the work started in early spring. So that's where we're at there. As far as other things going, there are some interest in various properties around town, preliminary interest, and we'll continue to keep you abreast if anything becomes official. Other than that, we're just the same old day.
Very good, thank you, Sean. New business. Old business.
How come when you say, oh, you look at me?
I get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Very good.